considering the topic. All right, so here is my media folder. Okay, here we go. So this is camera change. Okay. Let me load that. Yep, that's the one. Good. All right, so I did some editing here. This is the damn. Oh, I hate this new computer, guys. If anyone has a better recommendation, please let me know. All right, it's literally going nuts right now. Okay, there we go. Okay, now I can see it. Okay, so I wanted to show you this first of all because this is the you heard about the missing minute. That really happens. I think Pam Bondi said, "Oh, it resets all the time." No, that's not really true. But also the aspect ratio changes. I don't know what that means. I'm guessing the camera was actually shut off, or someone removed maybe the SD card from it and repositioned it. But watch right at this mark here, and then we'll get to what I was talking about. But while we're here, okay, see that? Go back. All right. Now I'll let that run. See that? Like the whole aspect ratio changed. Anyone who knows cameras a little better than me, I use them. I don't know the tech behind them. I find that really odd. Okay. A couple other odd things here too. Let me look at my notes. It says, all right. Okay, so, okay, this is interesting too. Later in this report I was reading, the two inmates, they said they heard something happen between 12 and 1 o'clock. Now, I don't know if these guys have watches or not, but two different inmates said around midnight they heard something. Then another one says around 1-ish. And if they don't have watches, they're just estimating. But I do want to point another thing out too. Let me pause this for a second. This is not his cell. All right. You see this little sliver right here? There's some stairs that go up right there. You get just a sliver of it. If you go up these stairs, his cell is, you could see it. If you're sitting at the desk that's here on the other side of this wall, you can see his cell, not into it, but you can see the door. But there's stairs right here. Now, what's messed up about this, really messed up, is this is it. This is the 10 hours that Pam Bondi said, oh, this proves no one went in a cell. You could literally go from the desk that's over here and go up the right-hand side of the stairs, and no one's going to see you. Like at the end of the video, you'll see when the emergency staff, which I never really saw them, is supposedly going up, you might see a little blemish right here, and I'll make some diagrams out of this and blow it up. But so that's what you're looking at, that little sliver right there. I compared this against the diagrams that are in this report of his cell. This is not his cell. This is the cell. This is where the prison guard sits. And you see this is stairs right here. Okay, this is a tier. This is a tier. And then there's another tier over here. That's the tier he's in. I believe this is the exit to go in and out of this area. But that's where they're sitting. Now, the other thing that happens here is if we get to... There's one I wanted to show you because it's really weird. It almost looks like at some point there seems to be a guard. God, I gotta find it. There's one of the guards here. Looks like he's almost doing like lookout. 11:57 guard steps away from desk. At 11:57, other guard goes to the fridge at 12. Fridge guard change. Okay, yeah. So, okay, 12. Let me go back. Okay, yeah, watch this. At the midnight and 28-second mark, watch right here. It almost seems like some guy or some guard they stop here, and it looks like they're staring up here. Now, this is the only functioning camera at that time. And again, we're collecting. I don't know what it means, but it did strike me. All right, so right here, I wonder if I could blow this up. let me hit play, sorry. Okay, see this guard here? Just staring. 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 Like just looking up this way for a long time. Does that mean that guard is looking to see if anyone's entering from this tier? Because something's happening behind that guard in Epstein's tier. Still standing there, by the way, staring in this direction. And then goes back to the desk. So it comes all the way back here. Let me show you again. If you guys saw that, that one really stuck out at me because I was going through it the other night when it first came out. And I think it's actually earlier than that. Okay, watch. Guard, time changes. Guard gets up. Right there. Right there. Guard was sitting at the desk. It's 15 seconds past midnight. We just lost a minute. Now watch this guard. Comes over. Facing our direction. And is just standing there. Staring in this direction. And if you look closely at the video, it almost looks like the guard looks back here and then continues staring in this direction, possibly at another tier as well, but still standing there for almost a whole minute for no reason. Not talking to anyone or anything. And then goes back to the desk. Just mark that. That's at the 12:20 midnight and 20-second mark. That was really odd. Okay. Changed angles. I just want to make sure I covered everything that I wanted to share with you. Guard stares at lookout, so at the 12:20 mark. Then the guard leaves. So at 1:39, the guard leaves. Okay. Oh, yeah. Also, okay, so now someone's coming up the tier. All right. So this is another tier. This guard calls. They unlock the door. Now, I just want to point out something, too. This guard forgets to shut the door. Okay, and they're talking about, like, oh, no one could have gotten in or out. I mean, watch. This guy literally forgets to shut the door. And that is at the 12:01. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Whoops. Left the door open. That goes to another tier. Maybe I should shut that. Yeah, that's right. Remember to shut it. That's at 12:02:17. Make sure I got. All right. So now, if you go, I'm gonna call up another one here. We'll just do this last one, and I'm gonna actually play it on the outro, so you don't have to listen to me like analyze it with you. But I just want to play the last part. So remember, they found him in his cell at 6:30, and 1 minute later, the medics arrived supposedly and all that. I just want to point out that I don't see a stretcher. I don't see any urgency in this last part, but I'm not going to play it yet. I'm just going to call it up. Okay, and this is, so now you see we're at, and by the way, I had it on fast forward earlier, so, okay, so I'll leave that up for a second. Let me show you my big ugly head again, and we will just summarize, and then I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to do this all week. All right, so what have we covered tonight? Well, let's cover your comments first, and I'll get this new laptop fixed so I can actually read things here, man. I'm losing it. All right. And I actually, if you guys are still there, I want your comments on what I just saw. Hey now, John Johnson, Marianne reposted the stream. Thank you. Didn't break. Nope, I agree with you, dude. He didn't break his own neck. Okay, and then hey, everyone is talking about this. Jimmy Dore and Kurt Mixon rocked it today. I'll check it out. Are they talking about the video itself? Because I'm not trying to scoop it. I want all of them talking about this. Like I don't care like about the headlines or being a podcast star. I just want to share this stuff with you and make sure we're all looking at it. Um, it's okay, Brian. Thanks. I don't know what I did. Those YouTubers are professional, were warned not to post the video and have not posted in 2 years. Bill Richardson was, and yeah, I believe that, Digibabe. Totally believe that. There's my cousin Ernie, Walter Kim, reveal anything new on Luigi. No, I honestly, that he's talking about that interview on Tucker Carlson. I think I won't go into it too much. I was listening to that, and I think that guy made, I think the depth of his research seemed to be whatever was on mainstream media, both right and left. Luigi Mangione case, like we still don't, we the only, they have a writer that he was kind of going over the Luigi Mangione case, and I don't know, I think he was forcing a lot of circles into squares, saying that, Luigi Mangione created this perfect crime for the social media age. I think that was his thesis, and then he decided to, confirm that assumption. You guys will have to listen to the Tucker Carlson interviews. In my opinion, disappointing. I know the Luigi Mangione case extremely well, and I cannot stand when like high-named individuals say things like, "Well, the reason Luigi did it," or "The guy hasn't been convicted yet. We don't know who was in that hood. We know a guy in a hood shot Brian Thompson. That's all we know. We never saw Luigi Mangione's face. I won't go into it, but past episodes, you guys can check it out. All right. You are terrific. So is your wife. Hey, thanks. Funkin' Beauty. What a great name. Both contribute so much to our thoughtful conversation. Your dinner table must be a great feast of thoughtful discussion. Well, we normally don't have a dinner table because she's going on podcasts a lot. And then I have a night show. So like tonight, I started the short ribs, and then I think I oversalted them, and then she was eating salad. I said, "What happened to the short ribs?" And she said, "They're too salty." And then she went to bed, and then I'm still up doing this. But when we do have dinner, we have great conversations. But, we normally don't talk about politics and those kind of things. I mean, we'll use each other as interlocutors, but, she's talking about this stuff a lot more than I am. I like to focus on individual cases, but she's on a lot of podcasts. So usually when we go for a ride or something like that, you should listen to like a audio book. But I will say this, our favorite thing to watch together, it took me a long time. It took me a year to get her to shoot a gun. It took me 4 years to get her to watch true crime. But now she's watching true crime, and she really is addicted to it. What we're watching right now is called My Worst Nightmare, or Your Worst Nightmare, on Discovery. Really bad acting, but they're really enjoyable for some reason. So, all right, Dee Dee, it's all too fishy, and he couldn't have possibly broken his own neck with a. Yeah, totally agree with you. They're trying to say he choked himself with his linens, and there were a ton of linens in there, which made no sense. Redacted, the Jimmy Dore Show, Kim Iverson, Viva, and everyone else are talking about this. Yeah, they are. I had to because I already did the work on it. I'm trying to avoid talking about the political moves around this and why people are doing things politically. I just want to get right into the details, and and there's a lot more to dig through. This is also a very important case too because it's connected to Epstein was connected to so many people. And I'll tell you right now, like, the guy that got him into the Edge Foundation, that whole intelligentsia of academics and everything, well, that guy's name was John Brockman. Okay, John Brockman, at the time, that was my wife's agent, literary agent. He's like a super agent. Her uncle's with that agent. But if you pull up the BuzzFeed article from 2021, Naomi was interviewed in that. But yeah, John Brockman was her agent. I've had dinner with the guy multiple times. Like, these people are all connected. And isn't it funny? Just saying. That was right around the time the Weinstein thing was not winding down, but pretty. I think he'd gone to jail by like 2018, 19, or yeah, I think so. So she was very involved in that case, and so was I. I was actually helping some of Weinstein's victims. And then I started getting harassed by the media who they were trying to say that I was a spy working with some other government. They didn't realize I was working with the Weinstein victims. And then the Epstein thing started happening. Now we knew who he was, but he wasn't in jail yet. But these allegations started coming up, and he was really well known in Manhattan where we were living, especially in those circles. And then I'll never forget, but she had brought up wanting to write a book about Weinstein and Epstein. And I won't go into too much detail because it's her business. I will say this. The rest of the dinner did not go well that night with the four of us. I ended it early because I'm not going to let anyone raise their voice. And that relationship pretty much cooled off very quickly after 3 decades of working together, those two. And when all this came to light with Epstein and everything, she immediately cut ties. She's like, oh, yeah, I can't be even affiliated with this. So you can see the reach is everywhere. My friend Hernando Arce was just saying the other day on Twitter that the office he rented for Taxi Magazine, and Hernando's a great guy. He does a lot of the border reporting for us. He's not for us, for LFA TV. And he was in New York the other day. He's pointing out the place, and he used to rent it from Mark Epstein. These people own so much stuff. So that's why I think the Epstein thing's so important, is because it touches so much of America and industry and everything. It's like God knows how many cases peeling this case open will solve. This could answer a lot.
Hey everyone, it's Naomi Wolf of Daily Clout. Have you ever wondered why your brain can feel foggy even when you're eating clean and exercising? It might not be burnout, it could be parasites. Groundbreaking research from Dr. Alan MacDonald reveals a direct link between chronic parasite infections and neurological diseases such as multiple sclerosis. Parasites can cause inflammation, nerve damage, and long-term cognitive decline. More reason to do a full body cleanse at least once a year. The wellness company has a solution for you, ivermectin and mebendazole, the gold standard parasite solution now combined in one cleanse combo designed to eliminate harmful invaders and support your immune system naturally. Medical grade, not some trendy herbal gimmick. Fill out a quick intake form and you'll get a 3-month supply shipped straight to your door. Maha is officially here, and the wellness company is making hard to get medications digitally accessible so you can live your best life. Head to dailyclout.health and use code dailyclout to save $60 off plus free shipping on all orders. Cleanse your body today. Get rid of parasites today. Thank you.
This could answer a lot. I just found today there's a Soros connection, an actual Soros connection with Epstein. I did not know that. Maybe you guys did. He was, and actually Senator Menendez, the scumbag that went to jail for taking gold bars as bribes, and his son is Congressman Menendez of New Jersey. Well, that guy's Senator Menendez's ex-girlfriend was going to the Epstein orgies. According to the New York Post and multiple reports. And then I found in the FEC documents, Epstein had donated $12.5 thousand to, her name's Gwendolyn Beck, to her 2014 campaign. So you see, all this shit's connected. And if you're connecting with senators and everything like that, it is affecting your life because it's almost a form of regulatory warfare. It's a way of manipulating laws because someone has leverage over someone. So we need to find out who he had leverage over. Okay, who he had leverage over. That's why I'm glad everyone's looking at this DD for sure. Okay, so Funk and Beauty. Most people with simply home ownership have a will, so not a surprise that it's a new one given his fortune. I hear you, but it does seem like they were unaware of this new will. Like, you can assume someone has a will, but the way it's worded is really interesting, is they were unaware of this new will. That means they were aware of the old will. Now, it could be as well that because they monitor all these meetings, they slipped either and we all know they monitor them, and you consent to that when you go as a lawyer or anyone to a prison to be monitored. They might have listened so much it just slipped and said, oh, he has a new will, because they're eavesdropping on the conversation as they're supposed to. Where was Epstein buried? Who attended the funeral? So many questions. I meant to look that up before the show ran out of time, but yes, I did want to look up his funeral. Where was he buried? God, I wonder if someone's going to try to dig him up. But how did he lower him to the floor when his body fell to the floor already in his previous sentence? That's a really good point, Ernie. You're right. Let me see here. He said, went to the floor. Okay, yeah. So I'm just going to read it. I'm not going to call it up. Epstein was suspended from the top bunk in a near-seated position, with his buttocks approximately 1 inch to 1.5 inches off the floor. Thomas said he immediately ripped the orange string from the bunk bed, and Epstein's buttocks dropped to the ground. Thomas then lowered Epstein's body to the floor and began chest compressions. Okay, so I think what happens, buttocks hit the floor, then he lowered. It sounds like he's saying he lowered the top half, but it's a good catch. It's definitely something to look into. Every little detail is. So that's a good catch, Ernie. Steve Ladner, self-proclaimed heroes release video footage when I make themselves look good. When it makes themselves look good. Who are you talking about? Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. Like releasing this footage here. I think honestly, this was like I think Pam Bondi just is really horrible at messaging and strategy. Like she's, in my opinion, she strikes me as a very dishonest person. Just been my feeling about her since before the nomination. The fact that she doubled down on the death penalty case for Mangione and said from her position, where he has not been convicted yet, doesn't matter if he did it or not, he hasn't been convicted or not. And she said, we're seeking the death penalty when he brazenly assassinated Brian Thompson. So she, as the top prosecutor in the country, has already biased the case against Mangione when she said that on April 1st. Then there was the Kirk Moore, Dr. Kirk Moore. I don't know if you guys followed that. She dismissed all his charges and everything. But just a few days ago, she had given her DOJ instructions to continue that case. And that was the COVID doctor that was doing something where like he was signing off that they got the COVID shot for people that had to, but then making sure they didn't get it. And he was being accused of like falsifying records and COVID cards and all that nonsense. It seems like a good guy, seems like a real hero. But I know just a few days ago, it was posted that Pam Bondi was continuing that case against him. And then all of a sudden, the heat's gotten so much with the Epstein fallout, as it should, that magically today she's like, oh, we're dismissing all the charges. Now, let's look at that with Bondi. And this investigation for me will shift to Bondi. Okay, it has to, because she has the most overlapping connections. But when she said the United Healthcare killer, she doubled down and said, we're going to seek the death penalty because he killed him. Well, one of her clients at Ballard was United Healthcare. And then the other day, she was continuing the case against Dr. Moore for falsifying things that said people got their shots. Well, one of her clients in the past was Pfizer. That's why there's so many things we have to look at with her, because there's a lot with this one. I've already found connections with her in the New York County's DA's office from this time. Whereas in other statements, she's saying, oh, New York's not working with us, not giving us the files. It's like, what are you talking about? Because half of those New York people work for you now. You're telling me they can't call New York County and get those things expedited? Something's up here. It's almost like she was placed in this position, is bringing all of her connections with her, and I just don't think they're good connections. Look at the client list at Ballard Partners. It's just, I can't get it off my mind. She's going after an anti-Pfizer, vaccine doctor, and her past client was a vaccine maker, the vaccine maker. She's going after the alleged killer of a United Healthcare CEO, and she used to get paid big bucks by United Healthcare, or at least her firm did. So there's a preponderance of evidence saying, yes, someone's corrupt. But who seems to have the most connections and takes money as a lobbying from a lobby, as a lobbyist from all the biggest, most powerful firms in our country? Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi. And she's pissed too. If you guys saw the press conference today, like people kept saying, "What about Epstein? What about Epstein?" She's like she's pissed because I honestly think, just like with those Epstein files, remember when she did the whole they went out and said phase 1, top secret, blah blah blah. I actually think this woman thinks the American people are really stupid. I really think that, because you saw in the beginning of this episode, she's just like, yeah, no, that's a minute falls off all the days. Well, look, I mean, I'm sure all of you own security cameras, some really cheap ones, some really expensive ones. 2019 wasn't that long ago, okay? And the system wasn't that old. I think it went back to like 2016. I mean, I bought my first, yeah, I bought my first Blink camera, I think in 2016. I'm still using it. There's no lapse. There's no as I think Candace Owens said on her show the other day, there's no daylight or daylight savings hour that disappears. Like, you record 24 hours, you get 24 hours. I mean, I've had a security license, I've installed a few systems, we all have. But if you heard that explanation, no, that was the minute that falls off all of them. We're going to look into that and show you more footage so you can see a minute falls off every one of them. That makes no sense. But it's one of those things that, like, I'm sure when she rehearsed it in front of the mirror in the ladies' room over there at that, over at the White House, that she probably thought that sounded really smart, and how they're just going to go with it. And then she said, "Oh, no, I wasn't saying I had the client list. I was saying it's a file like all the other files." All I could think of is George Costanza in that Seinfeld episode where he was pretending to have the cane so he could get the private handicap bathroom, but he put the cane on the wrong side one day, and his boss like, "George, wasn't your cane on the other side?" He goes, "Oh no, that's because you were coming at me. But you see, now you're walking near me, so it seems like it's on the different side." And he walks him in front of the mirror. He's like, "You see, left, right. It's a great thing." It just reminded me of Pam Bondi the other day. But I think this woman actually thinks the American people are stupid. There's a lot of people like that. They're really out of touch with the American people. I don't think Donald Trump thinks the American people are stupid. This doesn't seem to be his deal. I think, just like what I've heard with the Epstein file release, is like that happened, then he found out about it and he blew up. And it looks like he might be forcing the case to reopen or something like that. So what happens in a lot of these, kind of like management structures, or the White House, whatever you want to call it, is you do delegate and you trust people to do things based on these presidential directives. I just think she goes off script a lot, and then everyone else is left to deal with the mess. Now, could he have handled that better? Yes, absolutely. He shouldn't say, "You're still talking about Epstein." That was poorly handled. But if I were Donald Trump, because I think it's starting to weigh on him, like this is a bigger deal than he thought it would be. Like, this is not going to blow over. This could be his legacy, and it's not a legacy he wants. Because it is tearing our side, the MAGA side, the non-Marxist side, let's just put it that way, of America apart, because we don't have trust. We're not going to blindly trust. These are not the days where you blindly trust anymore. I don't care if you're Donald Trump. I don't care if you're Jesus. Okay? If you say something and it makes no sense when all the evidence says to the contrary, I'm going to need more than just do it, or just believe me, or just trust me. No, we need more. And we deserve more because a lot of us went through a lot of stuff to get this administration through. A lot of us, all of you as well, went through a lot of horrible stuff through through the years of Biden to make sure MAGA got into office. And if they want to stay in office and they want us to trust them because they need us and we need them, but this country is going to fall apart if they. I don't think I'm overstating it. If they don't fix this Epstein thing, it's going to be bad. It's going to be really bad. It's going to fracture everything. And guess who's going to be back in power? The freaking Marxist Democrats. They've got to fix this. And this is rippling all over the world right now, too. Really reverberating in England. Yeah. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for tonight. I'm so tired, so I'm probably not making sense. We do have some. We're going to stick with Epstein. I do want to stick with this prison thing. Let me see here. Let me get to your last comments. Steve Ladner says, "Have you heard about the inmate that was being released from Harris County, Texas jail that supposedly attacked guard and lost his life?" I haven't, but by the way, guys, if you want to email me leads or things you think I should cover on the show, just go to, I'm going to put it on the banner here. You can, well, I don't have the banner set up, so I messed up all my banners, damn it. Go ahead and go, well, here you go. So on the banner down below, I got a Substack, or you could DM me on X or just tag me on X. If you follow me and I follow you back, then you can message me. But yeah, Steve, these kind of, anything like that, send it. People send me stuff all the time, and it's all useful because I save everything you guys send. The guards. So Steve, are you saying, have you heard about the inmate that was being released from Harris County Jail, supposed to be attacked by guards and lost his life? I have not heard that. Actually, I haven't watched anything for like the last 3 days. I've been head down on this. Suicide seemed to happen. So I'll check it out if you send it to me. Suicide seemed to happen where they're linked to the same certain people. Yes, right? A lot of suicides around the Clintons. Have you noticed that? And here we are again, around the Clintons. Go read Ryan Dawson, Whitney Webb, Ed Opera, and Nick Ryan have reported on Epstein for many years. I know them all personally. I don't know the first one, but I've read so much of this stuff. I've read a lot of Whitney Webb stuff. I like going to the source. I do. I mean, I'm sure they don't, and I do read them too, but if I'm in a jam and I can't get past a certain analytical point, or I want to make sure I don't reinvent the wheel, then, I read them. But because I'm reading, and by the way, I have other cases that are for individual clients and private companies, mainly like due diligence on businesses or corrupt competitors. So that's my day job. So I'm reading like primary evidence all day. So I really don't have a lot of time to read a lot of these people's stuff. And to be quite honest, and I know all those names. I have respect for all of them. But it's just so much to read, so I'll probably listen to them on Audible. But I always, even if they do great work, I'm sure they do. I always tell people you're as good as your last job. So it's always important, even when you're reading them, double check their work. They appreciate it. Trust me. I've caught many people getting things wrong. And then, I'm like, I reached out to them and say, hey, this is not actually accurate. And they appreciated that. So, helps keep things tight. So, but by the way, Rev Man's Solution. If you send me a reading list, I'll put it up on my Substack and I'll check out some of your top recommendations and I will read them. So I didn't mean to sound like I was blowing you off there. Just a little tired, that's all. But thanks, those are good recommendations. Prayer X10 says, yep. Ernie says, and now this video shows up when they previously said there was no video. It's a good point. And actually, I'll get to that tomorrow. I don't even, Oh no, they did say that that one camera was working. So remember, Ernie, that camera is a really bad view of just a sliver of the stairs that go up to Epstein's cell. Um, but I guess they said in the report that all the cameras, like 50% of the cameras were down. That's what they say. And but literally there's some inconsistencies when they're like, oh, and then we put in for this thing because we wanted to fix them. And they said here, recorded video evidence August 9th and 10th for the SHU area where Epstein was housed was only available from one prison security camera due to a malfunction of MCC New York's digital video recording system that occurred on July 29th, 2019. A malfunction occurs right after Epstein checks in his tier. While the prison cameras continued to provide live video feeds, recordings were made only for about half the cameras. That makes no sense. That makes no sense because they're all server based. It makes no sense. That's bullshit. They're making it sound like that these things are VHS cameras. It's just it makes no sense. The timing, it just makes no sense. We'll go into the cameras, not at length, but we will because it's important. And it's all in that report, guys, so definitely check it out. All right, where are we now? And then, oh, so the cameras were out was another lie. No, so just like I read, they reported in 2023, according to the OIG, who knows, that the cameras, 50% of the cameras went out, or the ones in that tier, 50% went out, but it seems like there's only one camera. There's a Wired article that shows that they actually edited that footage. So, yeah. And by the way, when you go to you can find the videos. You guys know where you find the videos, right? They're in the memo that came out. You'll notice there's two videos, like two video one, video two, but the same length of time is the same time frame. So I don't know why there's video one and video two, but that's what they have. It's kind of weird. Don't look at Epstein's list. Lots of names. I have a T-shirt with it. You're gonna have to give us a picture of that T-shirt. Redman Solution, send me a picture of that T-shirt, please. I want to put it up because I have a feeling there's something funny you're saying there. It's just not coming through the right way. Don't look at Epstein's don't look at Epstein's list. Lots of names. I have a T-shirt with it. Got it. And I'm saying definitely look at the list. Joanna reposted the stream. Thanks, Joanna. Cops edited out exculpatory evidence in my 1A retaliation trials video. Doesn't disappear. Select. Yeah, absolutely. And I've worked enough criminal cases for defense lawyers as a private investigator where, like the murder cases I worked, you'd finally get the evidence and it's on, like, they'll still put it on like a CD. So then you got to find a DVD. Then you got to find a DVD player. And then the DVD doesn't work, or the footage is, you can't even see it. This has happened so many times. You're right. That's exactly, they mess with the evidence. So they turn it over, but it's unusable. It's a good point. Ernie says, have 7 blinks, 3 rings, and a light bulb camera. Only time they go out is when the internet goes out. Yeah, I have all the above, and I also have like standalone, like just battery cameras that don't transmit to anything as backup, trail cams, everything. I never have gaps. Never have gaps. All right. There is no list, just testimony with names, business associates, financial scams. There's also his contact book as well, his black book. Don't forget about that one, because that's a real thing. Let me see. I won't pull it up because it's getting late, but yeah, they also have his contact list book, which has like everyone in it under the sun, but still. By the way, we don't know if there's a list or not. It's a hell of a lot of hard drives that were taken out of all his houses, so they're telling us there's no list, but we don't know if there's not a list. The whole point of us investigating is, we're not even trusting but verifying. We're going to verify first and decide if we trust. Verify, then trust. No trust. Not if it's not earned. I agree. Bondi was bamboozled by the leftover Dems in AG offices. Eh, let's say she was. Okay, let's say she was bamboozled. Then why not just come out and say, "Hey, I got bamboozled. They screwed me. They corrupted all the files." Why not just say that? Why say make up these ridiculous statements about camera missing out minutes and um, you know the the footage, saying that there is a list, and then saying I didn't say that. I said there is a file. Joshi didn't say file. So was bamboozled? Maybe, but then don't lie. It's like I mean, it's like, honestly, when I see her, it's like, let's say she's totally innocent, just a bad at communications, or just a kind of a natural liar. It just reminds me of, like, like kids, when you like peek around and you see them eat the cookie, then you confront them. They're like 6 and they got the cookie crumbs, and you're like, "Do you eat the cookie?" They're like, "No." That's what she reminds me of. But see, I think she wants to take all the cookies, or is poisoning the cookies or something. I don't trust her, based on past statements in other cases, based on who her clients have been. I just don't trust her, and I haven't been given a reason to trust her. So I'm just not going to go along with her just because she's a Trump, appointee. Look at his first administration. I mean, for Christ's sake, he hired Scaramucci. I met Scaramucci. He's a funny guy, but some of the people he had on, Walls, at the beginning of this administration, we can't, it's our job as voters. It's kind of like, think of the president's kind of like the master carpenter. We hired him to rebuild our house. Well, if we don't like some of his subcontractors, we're going to tell him. Look, I appreciate that Laura Loomer's got that voice and got that megaphone, literally and figuratively, and does call these things out. I mean, I think it's the job of every American to do due diligence on all these people and the actions they take, because they will affect us, especially the Attorney General. So no, uh, unless you have proof that she got bamboozled, I'm going to go with assuming she doesn't. And so far, the evidence I've collected tells me that she might not know what she's doing, but she is choosing to be deceptive, and she is choosing to not be transparent. She's made a choice multiple times to not be transparent. She knew damn well the Epstein files, the first batch, were stuff that the public had already seen, yet she put out this big binder bimbo party of people rushing out saying, "Oh," and it's the same shit we saw all the time. So she's choosing. I could say this. I'm not saying she wasn't bamboozled. I'm not saying she's lying about the Epstein files. I am saying that it seems clear to me she is choosing to be deceptive in how she communicates what is going on with our government and our system of law to the American people, and that's wrong. And we deserve better. You look like Biden at his red mat. Oh, with the stuff behind me. I can't get the lighting right, guys. I'm sorry. It's, it's this light over here. I can't find the remote control, so I'm stuck on red. But yeah, because I don't like all the red either. But hey, it is what it is. It's Republican red. How about that? That's funny, Don Johnson. Sleep well. Thanks for the show tonight. And then, of course, anytime Sino, it will be better next time I'm out of practice, but I am back. I've just been doing a lot of travel. Okay, all good. Some on Substack. Webbook, One Nation Under Blackmail. I've read that one. That's a good book. What were his legs holding straight out? Kind of like, I think the way they diagrammed it, it's like, this is the floor. His legs are kind of feet on the ground, but a little above the ground, back going straight up, neck hanging. That's how they diagrammed it. So going straight out in front of him like that. I think Nick Bryant released the book. Release what book? I'll look it up. I'll definitely look it up. So yeah. All right, guys, that's all I have for tonight. Sorry this was a little disjointed, but I really enjoyed seeing you all, and it is good to work through these things. Don't forget, definitely you want to grab yourself a copy of this. All right. So I'm going to remove that, add that. Yeah, make sure you get this and download it. I also recommend downloading the oldest copy on Wayback Machine. Go here, go to Wayback Machine, and then URL now. So yeah, that's because it's on my computer. But um, you just go there, go for the oldest one, just in case they change anything. But yeah, definitely read this. It is worth the read. A lot of information in here, and a lot that does contradict current statements that are being made by some of our, not our leaders, but by some of the people who think they know better. And by the way, one thing that's really interesting about this Epstein thing, it's you can see on both sides of the media, right and left, you can see who wants it to go away. Me and JJ Carroll talked about it on his show, so I don't want to steal that thunder, but basically, like, you have Jake Tapper, of all people, on CNN today saying, yeah, I'm kind of agreeing with these people. I want to know what's in those files. And then his own fellow pundit is like, oh, they're crazy conspiracy theories, blah, blah, blah. Like, you've got infighting at the CNN desk, at the Fox desk, at the America First desk. And that's going to show you who the paid bad influencers are. Any person that says, make this go away, there's nothing to see here. Anyone who starts towing that line, put them on your do not trust list. Because anyone that's okay with how this thing was closed, either you don't know what the case is and you've never heard of it, or you're getting paid to say that. So just keep an eye. This is a great and rare time to figure out who's actually getting paid or who's actually compromised on both sides of the aisle based on, their feelings about this list. Now, granted, a lot of Democrats, they want the list released because they seem to think it's got Trump on it. Personally, I don't think it does, because I think if the Biden administration, who tried to shoot the man twice and get him thrown in jail for 500 years, if they had him on the Epstein client list, they would have used it. That's just my feeling on it. So I don't think it's that. But it is interesting. Keep an eye on the pattern of messaging. The pattern of messaging is move on, move on, move on. And we're getting that messaging from people on the right, people in the center, and people on the left. We're also getting the hell no, we're not going to move on from people on the left, people on the right, and people in the center. So I've been keeping track of these people because I want to see where their messaging has aligned or where it's gone for other big cases such as Ukraine, COVID, everything else like that. So interesting time to keep an eye on the way voices are being handled. I couldn't believe Jake Tapper wanted to see more of the list. That blew my mind. And then the idiot next to him is like, oh, he committed suicide. That's a fact. And it's like, in a legal sense, it's technically a fact because that's how it was ruled. It doesn't make it a fact in the real world. So yeah, and I'll get that other report, mortician's report, up as well. Catturd has shown who he is by trying to blow this off. Really? I am not surprised. I'm not surprised. Yeah. There's, trust me. When you come on Autumn, we can do the whole show on the influencers, because keep an eye on this, everyone. I really miss I gotta say, I miss the Biden time, because at least in the Biden time, we were all fighting a common enemy. That being the Biden administration and everyone else. But now it's getting a little murky. It's like just trying to figure out which lobbying firms some of the previously kind of independent voices have now become decided to work for. And there's some pretty, there's it's like being in prison now. It's like everyone's chose their gang. There's the Qatar lobby. There's APAC, the American Israeli PAC. There's the Chinese, there's defense industry, there's pharma, and then there's one other one. Turkey is actually a really big pack. So it's interesting to see based on the messaging. Oh, forgot Chevron, Kim Iverson. That's why she's always saying Maduro's not that bad. Listen to Kim Iverson sometime. Always he's not that bad. Oh, we misread China. It just sickens me. But yeah, she was actually saying on one of her shows something like, oh yeah, we vilified Maduro. Maduro vilified Maduro because he's an insane homicidal maniac dictator. But yeah, Kim Iverson, someone mentioned her earlier on the chat. Just watch her messaging. It's very interesting. Uh, Dems on the list too. Tons of Dems. Look, it's not. It don't look at this in terms of. And that's a good point, Revs. But I'm gonna say don't get caught up in the bipartisanship or partisanship. That will muddy your waters investigative wise. At that level, there are no political parties. Okay, doesn't matter. It's about money. It's about money and power and leverage. Okay, there's lots of Republicans, there's lots of Democrats, there's lots of foreigners, there's lots of people that don't vote. It's not about political parties. This Epstein thing, trust me, it is not. This is something above political parties. And Naomi said it well. She used to work at the White House, and I used to work, in the intel agency, so they didn't want me in the White House, but they, I didn't really understand politics because I didn't care. I was an operator. So she said politics are like, I said, describe politics in DC. She said, well, politics are like professional wrestling. They all throw each other around on the stage, but they all show up in the same tour bus. I thought that was really interesting. So we will, yep, good point, Autumn. Doesn't matter. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Wow, look at me. I look haggard. I'm gonna go to bed. So guys, very good. I will get this up on Substack. You could go to brianoshea.substack.com, and that's where I am. I will put this up. It is a free subscription, like I said. If you can, yeah, brianoshea.substack.com. If you can, definitely do a paid subscription. Helps me out a lot, and but subscribe anyways, even if it's not in your budget. I think it's like $5 or something. But if it's not in your budget or you got too many subscriptions, totally get that. That's why I make it free. Just share it and share it out, and just like you guys are sharing the show, which I really appreciate. So I'm gonna get some bed and be back with you tomorrow night probably, and I'll announce it in the middle of the day. And then Ernie says power, money, and creepy predilections. Yeah, man, I don't get the pedophile thing. That's just so weird. Just so weird. It's disgusting. It's inhumane. I don't understand it. So, all right. Thank you. Appreciate that. And I will see you all tomorrow. So, I promise to leave you with I will hop off the camera, and I believe, yep, this is the last part of it. So have a great night, everyone. See you.
have to stay healthy and well at times like this. You know that I often have suffered from mobility issues, and now I don't. Part of my lifestyle is Native Path collagen. So, Native Path's collagen formula is made with ingredients that are scientifically developed to increase bone mineral density, support tissue recovery, reduce wrinkles, enhance hair thickness, and strengthen nails. Who wouldn't want more collagen with all of these benefits? So right now, when you visit getnativepath.com/daily clout, you can stock up on Native Path collagen for up to an incredible 45% off today, plus free shipping. Every order comes with a 365-day money-back guarantee. You can try it risk-free today. It is a single ingredient formula with no fillers, additives, or artificial sweeteners, and it's third-party tested for heavy metals, which makes sure that it is pure and safe. It's flavorless. You can add it to anything. I add it to my oatmeal. You can add it to coffee or smoothies. Its formula makes it more bioavailable, meaning it's absorbed more easily and mixes without clumping. And the best part is Native Path is offering amazing bundle deals, 3 or 6 packs at a fraction of the price of other brands. With over 4 million jars sold, 1 million happy customers, 8,000 five-star reviews, and a 365-day no-risk guarantee, Native Path is a trusted choice, and they offer an 800 number. You can ask any question. A real person is waiting to help. You can join a private Facebook community. I love these people. Share recipes, success stories. So that's getnativepath.com/daily clout and start your experience of transformation today.